We are the strong female lead, and we lead each other. We lead our children. We embody what we do. And Dani's the most amazing businesswoman.
She really is.
And she brings wealth to every business that she steps into. I think everyone would agree.
Listening is the one thing that sometimes we'll be talking, but how often are we actually truly listening, comprehending, allowing ourselves the time and space? And I think with the Strong Female Lead events, what we do is we create a safe space where people can just come, whoever they are, men and women come to our events, and then they can just sit and be while somebody else touches upon those kind of areas within life and work and family and love and relationships and, you know, your spiritual side.
Hello, good morning. It's Coco, and I am bringing you another episode of The Big Chat. And this is a it's a colourful episode. Thank you, Kitch, for my colourful coat. But also, I really wanted to just, these people make me feel like a sunbeam. So that was the only way I could really start this episode off, is by wearing something vibrant that reflected their personalities, beings, auras, everything. They're amazing. And I was very generously asked to talk on the Strong Female Lead, one of their workshops, which would have been last Friday. This episode come out. So for those of you probably seen me boring on any of our social media platforms or on the Strong Female Lead. But it was great to do it, and it was great to work with them, and I want to get more and more involved with these guys. But I just, we've had one person on here already on a Zoom episode, and we're doing some private stuff, but I really wanted to get the two of the four members of the Strong Female Lead in. They do multiple things, as do I do. They are amazing female entrepreneurs and incredibly creative and generous with their time and their gifts, and I just thought it'd be a great opportunity to share it with the Big Chat audience. So good morning this morning to Dani and Nette.
Hello baby.
Now Nette's been a bit mischievous this morning. I mean, Dani always is, but look at Nette. Could you just look at the camera?
I'm with my two favourite ladies. How could I not be?
To those who don't know what the Strong Female, please, surely they know by now, but to those that don't know, guys, how did this come about? Let's talk about that first.
This is Dani's baby, Strong Female Lead.
The Strong Female Lead came about actually when I got out of a challenging relationship, where as a female and a being, a lot deeper than just being the feminine energy or a female, but as a being, I was demobilized, and I went through a pretty tough time, to say the least. And when I came out of that, I reconnected with my energies and my strengths and myself. I dyed my hair very blonde and signed up for the Tough Mudder challenge, and got my head back together in terms of life and business. And it was such an experience. For all the bad things that it was, it's also brought the most fascinating new experiences, humans and people into my life, as well as one major thing, and that is the ability to see how I can help and support other people, men and women, in life and business, with concentration on the feminine energy for now, from the beginnings and the founding of the Strong Female Lead. And that will then lead into us being able to also help men and the masculine energies with the Strong Male Lead, which we'll be doing with Matt from Fine Grind.
And family as a collective.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Empowering the kids along the way.
Yes.
And last Friday was great because you did involve the kids as well, didn't you, with the workshop? So this is obviously going to come out this week. So it will have been a week after you did the workshop, and you had I didn't get along later on in the day, but one of your guests that saw me somewhere said, "Oh yeah, I've just come from there. It was great." So yeah.
Aww. So our children are the foundations of so much of our own practice, as is your baby and babies, but we actually immerse, and Nette and I were just having the most powerful conversation on the way here, And it's about, we live literally as a family, and in Tunbridge Wells we collect other members of our growing family and their children, and their families and their pets and everything else. But our children,
Luna's
but our children are the foundation and the reasoning behind a lot of what we do, and they are also the next generation to take through. And they are the ones that will break all the generational curses and all the problems and issues that we may have had as humans within our own childhood. So we can only be the best version of ourselves to then allow our children to learn from that, but also to be guided and put together with the tools, and we give them the tools to gain freedom from the life that they are trying to build. And we were just talking about how to integrate 2 of our children into doing something strong together, so that they can learn, the idea
sisterhood.
Exactly.
And practice that from a young age. That way it's natural.
And it needs to be more like that, because kids can be mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
sorry.
It's
so can grown-ups.
You don't complete your empathy, whatever gland, if it's your hippocampus or whatever your empathy lays. Apparently that doesn't finish growing until you're like 26. So really we have to cultivate that, as a practice within our children.
And teach children
Keep
that it's
that mic
okay.
close to your mouth with your sexy voice, Nette. Thank you.
I'll do it.
And it's okay to hurt and be in pain. But when we're hurting and in pain, we don't need to hurt other people.
No.
But children don't comprehend that necessarily. And teaching children an outlay for pain and or being comfortable to talk or problem solving skills, I think is the one.
So having the emotions is one thing. What you do with it is another. And that is where you have to be conscious and really decide what you're going to do with it, because it has implications for other people. And implications for yourself that you might not want,
Absolutely.
You don't want to linger with the feeling that you've hurt somebody because you were angry. So pause, breathe, think.
Raising consciousness, I think, is a huge central point of the strong female lead.
Yes, it is. I think.
For the feminine energy, the masculine energy, children, the family unit, and our community. Together we are stronger.
Totally.
Together we will win. We can conquer, and love is love's the key. That's it.
That's
the
where
key.
it is.
And acceptance and guidance and so on.
I feel like busting out in song right now.
Go.
Love is the key. Open my love.
I feel like back at your barbecue when I was pulled up onto that karaoke and put under
did really
pressure.
well under pressure there.
I mean, I was
Under
a bit
She
pressure.
okay,
sang
we're going to
wonderfully.
have a whole episode with just Nette just ad-libbing every single thing she could do. How did you 2 wonderful beings meet? I know this story, but
I mean, I'd like to just touch upon a 6-hour conversation.
I mean, for those of you that can see, look at what these guys are wearing today. This was not planned, but they're literally.
Can we get it on? Get it on.
Reveal.
We didn't plan this.
Which
camera is? Oh,
I mean,
that one. Okay.
Hi guys.
I mean, look, and we've got
Animal
some
print, baby.
I mean,
Oh my goodness.
That is gorgeous. What a sick jacket.
I think we bring out the animal.
I've got another
Oh my gosh,
beautiful
look.
bit of Bod and Ted here. So yeah, Bod and Ted.
Excellent.
Thank
We
you.
love
Gorgeous.
Bod and Ted.
I mean,
and Kitch.
so I'm wearing.
I love them. All my
I'm
fluffy
wearing Trippy
jackets are
Panther
from
right
Kitch.
now, by the way. So
Yes.
look out for the next Trippy Panther drop, because we're going to be seeing some animal print up in the place.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And camouflage, camo.
Camo. Yeah,
But it is all these it's strong, empowering messages that you're getting across. But I mean, how did we meet? How did you meet?
So we met in a tattoo studio. And then one day I wanted to go and pick a car. And I was
As you
really,
do.
I was really stressed out about picking a color. I can pick the car in 10 seconds, but the color, jeez.
Really?
So I was like, Dani, help me, please come with me. I'm going to have an anxiety attack while we're here. So she came. I mean, we sorted the car in the color and sorted the color like that. Actually, it was pretty quick. But then we sat down in the car and we were still sitting there 6 hours later. It's like, we got to get some kids from school now. But we were talking about our lives. We spoke about everything. We connected on a deep level. Before that, I mean, I've got to say, I had no idea what was inside this woman when I first knew her for a couple of months. And then after that conversation, I was just blown away, and I'm still blown away every day that we talk and connect. So
Same.
that conversation kind of kick-started. I was, I love you.
So much love in the room. Ash is just like, oh my gosh.
We've been causing mischief ever since. Isn't that right? And we're not looking to stop anytime soon.
But you have got a powerful back history, both of you. you know.
Yeah. I think we trauma bonded in the healthiest way possible. You know, we've both been through oppression. We've both been through abuse, especially in romantic relationships, unfortunately. So we connected, and I think we keep each other strong. You know, we are the strong female lead, and we lead each other. We lead our children. We embody what we do. And Dani's the most amazing businesswoman.
She really is.
And she brings wealth to every business that she steps into. I think everyone would agree. And so really, she saw an avenue where we can put the way we live and the life that we actually embody and live on a daily basis, bring that to life and share that with other women. And sisterhood is a huge thing for us. So we're both single mums, you know, and we have to build a community to raise our children. We need that inspiration, that support. I've always believed, my family taught me, it takes a community, a village to raise a child. There we go.
True.
Absolutely.
So we're building our village for our children and for ourselves. But we have everybody's best interest at heart. And I think it's contagious. What we do is contagious. You leave smiling with a fuller heart from every event. We have tears, we have laughter, connections. People make friends for life. At the Strong Female Lead. Absolutely. Goosebumps, hair raising. You know, aha moments are in the plenty at Strong Female Lead events. We bring amazing women together, and, you know, it doesn't end when you leave. When you walk out that door, you make connections that last.
And it's all an education, isn't it? I mean, we can all teach each other so much. We just need to, you know, step into the zone, take the time, breathe, listen. Listening is the one thing that sometimes we'll be talking, but how often are we actually truly listening, comprehending, allowing ourselves the time and space? And I think with the Strong Female Lead events, what we do is we create a safe space where people can just come, whoever they are, men and women, come to our events. And then they can just sit and be while somebody else touches upon those kind of areas within life and work and family and love and relationships and, you know, your spiritual side, your health. And someone else is doing the work there, that they're touching into your kind of being, and they're there to say, you know, I'm here for no other reason except to offer the support and love in this moment for you. And, you know, to
grow together.
Yeah, absolutely. God, yeah.
But I think it's very important as well to get across the message that, because we are all about love and we are all about community, but you are also, I mean, as we've talked to Nette, you know, we know a bit about Nette. Dani, you are a fierce businesswoman.
I am, darling.
Yeah, baby.
Thank you.
But you are, and you know, you don't broadcast that.
I don't often. Somebody said to me, why doesn't your Instagram show what you do in
well, it shows that you do Trippy Panther.
That's it. Yes, it does. And that's got its own separate Instagram.
Exactly.
You know, and my personal Instagram doesn't really showcase you know, the consultancy, the coaching, the business building that I have done and do you know, as my side hobby or my side work. And I've been, you know, I've lived all across the Middle East and North Africa, China. I set up a company in China, a company in Turkey. And I come from a world of corporate into startups. And I've built companies from 10 to 65 countries in 4 years, which is a company that I ended up doing a management buyout of back in the day in 2016, built that up, and then when the lockdown started, I divested part of that company to invest in Trippy Panther, because holistics and the more spiritual side of life and CBD, hemp, and what we can use hemp for is something that I'm actually quite passionate about. So I do what I love, and I love what I do. So coming out of the corporate space taught me a lot about how to reconnect with spirituality and what I didn't want in life. You know, office politics and kind of the commute. And I mean, the pay was great, but that also came at a huge cost.
Yeah. I wouldn't swap back for the paychecks.
No.
I wouldn't swap my life from it. You know, I was saying that the other day. I found an old paycheck, and it was like, I looked at it, I was like, what? I was 22 and I was earning that at 22.
Yeah.
I would not swap that for the stress and the, you know, booze and everything else that I was doing, and just the pressure,
the lifestyle,
just not being connected and having the freedom. But I think it's important to get that message across that you are, that background, because you both do it. I mean, you both do a lot. You do a hell of a lot. And the other members of the Strong Female Lead, you've got 2 other members, haven't you? Founding members. So 4 of you, basically.
Yes.
You're obviously the founder.
The original found was Jo O'Gara, who is a fantastic woman, and she coaches, and Holly Watson from Zero Waste Company,
who has been on here. She's been one of our
with Lottie.
Guests. Yeah.
And can I just say that obviously
amazing red lipstick. Anyone that can pull off her red lipstick, I'm get jealous of. Yeah, totally.
So the Strong Female Lead actually started off in my living room, and it then went to the Zero Waste Company on the Pantiles in Tunbridge Wells, and the girls were fantastic hosting us. And then when we outgrew the space, they absolutely are. Female powerhouse themselves, massively supportive. Holly's in our team, in our group, and then when we outgrew the space, we moved to our brothers at Fine Grind, Matt and James, and were at the Fine Grind in the High Street, and then we moved that up to the Amelia Centre, the Amelia Scott Centre up in town. And as a collective, the support network that we've grown and grown within that circle has just been phenomenal, and we continue to grow together. So there's always something that we can help and do with each other. And Tunbridge Wells is a very, very, very incestuous place to live. And when I moved from China to London to Tunbridge Wells because of the schools for my daughter. Complex, but it happened exactly that way in 2016. And when I came here, the one thing I saw very quickly was you can make Tunbridge Wells what you want it to be. It doesn't necessarily need to, you don't need to be what Tunbridge Wells wants you to be. You can make it into your own.
Totally.
And if you can do that, you will be, kind of at your happy space or your happy place.
Oh, it's definitely our happy place now, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, you guys, you're always, I mean, I'm irritatingly positive most of the time, not all of the time, but I can't get comfy in my chair. I'm really uncomfortable. I'm comfortable, but I'm uncomfortable, if you know what I mean.
I get it.
Yeah, you get it. Thanks. No, I think it is true, because I mean, certainly, I was talking to someone the other day about Chatty Hatter and saying like 10 years ago, people thought that was a really weird name, whereas now it's just like, Chatty Hatter. It's kind of it's just changing times, it's just, and I think Tunbridge Wells is, like you say, it is what you make of it, because there are some and that's certainly for me why I wanted to do the big chat, because I wanted to talk to authentic people that inspire me, that it's the same as you do really with the Strong Female Lead, people that you think, wow, people need to hear about this stuff, because so many people don't know about all these, we just assume everyone knows, and especially the parenting and the, again, my neighbours, through lockdown, they were 2 female single mothers with children, as was I, obviously Anna and Kerry, who are, have always been part of everything that I do. And then there was me here with my 2 children. Obviously, I'm lucky. I've got a really supportive ex-husband, father to them. But it was still, I'm still a single mum. I pay my bills myself. I don't get any help with my bills, just about what anyone thinks. I really don't get any help. I look after my kids. I take care of them myself. And I still run businesses and try and get other people and look after people the same as you guys do. And it's a lot, but it's incredibly empowering. And it's something to be proud of, not something to, sort of shy away from. And I think what I love about you two is your energy is just like, boom. It's just, there's no getting away from it. The first time I met both of you, I was just like, whoa, okay, hello, I'm not the only one.
And don't you find, Coco, that we spend a lot of time being positive and kind of, helping others and pulling people in. But don't you think that also, I think what's really worth mentioning is the fact of how rough and tough it sometimes gets to, parent in general, but also parent kind of single-handedly and, get the bills paid and get the cogs moving, and then also be there to help and support everyone else positively. So I think that something we share as a collective here is the amount that we do offer and do for others at the same time as going through those rough and tough kind of like hill climbs.
We haven't allowed parenting mothering to stop us chasing our dreams.
No.
Yeah,
We are
that's really
absolute
important.
go-getters, and we refuse to, what's the word, retire to that one position of being a mother, which society puts so much pressure on you to be a mum, to provide for your kids in a certain nurturing, you know, being there in the evenings and cooking and cleaning and doing all these motherly roles. But actually there's so much more to life, and I don't believe any of us were meant to be at home alone raising children. It's a very unnatural way to live, to be behind four walls raising kids on your own. We need friends, we need laughter, we need people our age, we need to connect, we need space from our children so we can come back to them with fresh eyes and ears and love and you know, what is it,
strong, trusty masculines as well. I think
absolutely.
The feminine and masculine energies within our circles are really important, and something that both Nette and I, and I'm sure you've been working on, is building our strong masculine and male network, offering that support to the feminine as well,
and to the child.
Yeah. I mean, I'm blessed with a lot of, you know, a lot of really great guys that are stepped up and evolved, but there's a few that aren't. Should we put it that way? So, you know, there's a few that aren't, but they are evolving. But then I'm very old. You know, I've been around the block a little bit longer.
No, I won't believe it.
22. But I think the thing is yeah, I mean, throughout lockdown, without my sisters next door, you know, we literally were like making each other food. We were helping each other. We were locked down together. For those that are listening, you know, that care, we do our barns do join, and we were sort of always toying with the idea of making like kind of an Alice in Wonderland door through to each other's homes.
I mean, mental health is just as important as physical health,
right?
And we are all adequate of making our own safety assumptions, you know. So I don't relinquish that to anybody.
No, absolutely.
Wink, wink.
Exactly. But it was that community exactly. That was the whole other
free zone, people. It's a judgment free zone.
This is a whole other podcast, and we've only got time for one today, with you anyway. But no, I think it's literally it's like you saying about community, because I mean, certainly Ness and I live close to each other, and she's Luna's second mama now. I mean, that's it, you know, and she's got a key to my home now. It's like just key, you know, that's it. And it's having that trust when you can trust people, when you know that they're your kind of people. Same with you, Dani. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you, darling.
It's just, you just know that energy's there, and the more that you attract that in, the better you get at knowing. And the better you get at knowing when it's not working.
I think the word's reciprocation, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's energy transfer.
Absolutely.
And reciprocation is the word. You know, we can't have expectations in life. I mean, and even these days, needs are frowned upon, aren't they? But if you can use boundaries and reciprocation as a form of, you know, going forward and kind of building your network, then I think that is quite important for us all. And just going back to mental health, I think that mental health is something that is so swept under the carpet, as is, you know, addictions and struggles,
sober life. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah,
sober 48 days today.
Woo, well done.
I know. Well, 48. I know. I don't really broadcast it, but yeah, I did. Well, you know. But you're right. People don't.
You don't. You know,
it's like people just there's still a bit of shame around it. There's still a bit of stigma around it, and it's like, really, seriously. Why?
Yeah. No shame here. It's water in my cup, baby.
No vodka. I mean, I'm just going to say right now, I've never recorded a big chat drinking vodka, okay? It might seem like it, but Ash will vouch, my videographer, I've always been teetotal most days of my life. But no, but self-soothing, when you're stressed out individuals, there's a lot of other ways that you can help yourself out without turning to a shot of vodka or a bottle of Prosecco when you get to a Friday and go, I've got no kids. Oh God, I'm going to smash open that bottle of Prosecco.
I mean, what a depressing way to live.
Honestly, now I don't do it. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, how did I even fit it in? I'm literally like, now I'm like, how did I even fit in drinking?
Yeah.
I don't even get it.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. I used to drink to avoid feeling loneliness. Really.
Yeah, and that's all it does, is makes you feel lonely.
Yeah, absolutely. So now I meditate. I breathe. I call a friend.
Just look at
And we
her.
take CBD.
And take CBD.
I took my CBD last night. I was up painting till midnight. Can't wait to show you.
Yeah.
And I thought, no, I need to get to sleep now because I want to be up by 5:30. So I had a little bit of CBD. Just felt nice.
And I mean, that for my shoulders, that trippy, you know, this was obviously this is like, which one have I got? Is it the cold one? I think it's the warming gel. That for my shoulders was amazing. You gave me that at the steak box because I do suffer really, really badly with shoulder. I know. I'm talking to Zach the healer on the show, and he's
Zach's
straight away.
wonderful.
He was like, you know, I know that the shoulders, you know, the carrying the weight, but again, it's those things. It's educating people on other alternatives, but also taking away the shame of don't be ashamed to say, you know, I said, someone said to me the other day, they were like, but you weren't that bad a drinker, were you? And I was like, I drank when I was stressed. I drank for the wrong reasons. I drank when I was stressed, upset, sad. You know, very rarely was I like, oh, I'm in a really good mood, so I'm going to go out and have a drink. And you know, lots of people can do that, and fair play to them. Yeah. But I'm not one of them. I'm one of the ones that wants, when it gets monkey chatter, when it gets really too crazy in my head, I want it to go quiet. I just want it to be quiet, and that's what I want. And also, I'm not productive because if I get blasted on a Friday, then Saturday I'm no use to anyone. Sunday I feel a bit crap and I just eat loads.
But you're avoiding growth. When you're numbing, you're
growth.
avoiding growth. You're avoiding looking in the mirror. You're avoiding doing the work, and it's, you know, your instant gratification or just numbing it. It's a plaster, really.
It's a plaster.
If you want growth, if you want freedom from your demons, you need to face them.
Yeah.
They're not that scary. Sit on the end of your bed, breathe, accept it, feel it. It will come in just smaller and smaller. Every single time it gets smaller and smaller.
It's interesting when you say about that, because literally there was you know, there's been a few people in Tunbridge Wells that have sadly passed away recently that have been pretty well known, and feeling those emotions, I was like, I don't want to feel this, but it was interesting for me to sort of realise, and I know I shared this with Nette, that I've been avoidant of those. I feel a lot for other people, don't get me wrong. I can feel for you. I can feel for you all day long. I can feel for everybody. I can feel, you know, if Ash started crying behind the camera, I'd be crying as well. You know, I feel that's not, the empathy is there. But for my feelings, I don't want to feel them, don't want to feel that. I mean, I am now, and the growth is coming, and it's coming fast. But it is like going through that barrier like you're talking. And also, if you don't do that, you teach your children, as you're talking about passing down those patterns, you're teaching down your lineage of generations to basically behave the way you've behaved. And that isn't a
But you know, what's that saying to your kids? Maybe it's passing down shame. You know, which is a crippler. Shame benefits no one.
No.
And what other people think, like thinking about what other people think all the time.
And half the time they're not thinking about you anyway.
But you know, substances, they suppress your subconscious being, and the subconscious is where growth lives. And you know, growth is on the other side of where you are comfortable. You know, growth is not comfortable at all. And if you are comfortable, you are not growing.
It's exactly it.
So it's about, you know, this whole idea of what society has decided is the norm, and everyone, you know, or majority of people have just gone, all right then, and followed suit. And it's about breaking away from that, and just trying to comprehend where your part in life is, or where your life is going, or where your part in this universe is. And that, I can tell you right now, is never the same as anybody else's. So how on earth can someone else then have the judgment upon what you see is right or wrong?
And the more discomfort you face, the more comfortable you be in life in these situations.
Because you can handle more. If you're
absolutely
uncomfortable in loads of different settings and surroundings, then a lot of things that come at you can go, oh, I know how to do this, or I've seen this, or I can feel through this. I don't know, going to the dentist and having a needle in your mouth, whatever. If you've done it once, you'll be able to handle it again and again and again. If you haven't, you'll have this fear of it.
Absolutely. You've got
standing
to go
on stage in front of a room of people and speaking from your heart.
But you know, anxiety lives in the future, and
depression lives in the past.
Yes. And depression lives in the past.
I like that.
We can
finish our
truly only be
sentences and
now.
our sandwiches.
That's going to be a reclip. That's going to be a reclip for sure. But it is true. It is, and it is living every day, because the only thing you can actually control, I mean, even now, is just gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Correct.
literally
All you ever
know,
have is this moment right
Yeah.
now.
which is just gone.
And
I
a
love
minute,
you.
I love you.
earlier is too late. I love you too.
Everyone's like, who is Ash? Ash is the man behind the camera.
He's a mysterious man.
He's the man behind the lens.
With some beautiful equipment that we've just been admiring.
Oh, don't you?
I mean, wood grain.
I've
I've never seen wood grain on a camera before.
Don't
I
make him
mean,
blush.
and it's got golden black.
All right,
on the
all right. Now he's
tripod.
going to get big-headed. We're going to have to
Such
do
a
one
cool
with him.
colour combo.
Yeah, I know.
I don't see any leopard print though.
We
Oh,
could.
Ash.
I reckon we could get him into some leopard print. I reckon I could get him
Around
into
one
some
of them
leopard print.
cameras.
But I think that's it as well. Is having fun, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
I'm like, when I first set up Chatty, and over the years I've lost it a little bit at times of stress where I've taken on jobs that actually I don't really want to do. I'll be honest, I don't really want to do them, but I've done them because the money makes the world go round. Blah blah blah. I'm sure there's some cheesy song about that. Now I just don't do stuff I don't want to do. I'm literally like, I'm not doing it. It's I have to do things that I'm either passionate about or with people that I'm aligned with.
Absolutely.
Otherwise I'm not doing it.
But sometimes we have to work through that to get
You
to that
have
point
to
where
work
we
through
can
that to
actually
get to
pick
that.
and choose.
You
Yeah.
really, really do. And
Yeah.
and that's not, but it's
that's
important
great.
to bring
That's
fun and
success.
energy. And now I'm like, if people say, oh, why would I use your agency, or why would I come on your podcast, or why would I do your this? I'm like, it's like when I was a yoga teacher, people would go, why would I come to your yoga class? And I'd be like, well, go and try out other teachers.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, I'm not in competition with anyone.
Yeah.
If do you know what I mean? Like you say, we're all our own version of, and that can be fun and that can be enjoyable. And what you're doing, the messaging that you're getting across, even though it is some of it is strong and painful. And when I heard some of your story, Dani, and Nette stories, they're like, we can dig deep in an episode and really go there at some point with maybe some of our other brothers that we're talking about when we sort of come as a collective. But really, people would be surprised. I know people with myself, they're like, what? You went through that? They just take for granted because you're always smiling.
Yeah.
That you're like, what, her? Well, that one? What, the one that wears loads of bling? Nah, she's all right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just,
Absolutely.
I landed here as a refugee from a refugee camp, from
Do you
a
know what I mean?
concentration camp, literally in this country with no English, and then now I'm like, "Rah!" But there is a journey that comes behind that,
Yeah,
and
there
Nette's
is.
journey is also just one from God, from darkness
Oh
to
my
light.
God,
And we
it
were
really
just
is.
talking about this actually
Yeah.
for the exhibition.
Yeah.
Nette's gonna have an art exhibition.
Yeah, I had a goal
Yes,
for
she is.
2022 that
Now
I'd be
put you under the
gallery,
pressure.
I'd be exhibition ready by the end of the year, and I'm not quite there yet. So now I'm seeing myself late into the night, early into
Good.
the morning, painting, and
I like the
building
sound of that.
Yeah.
I like the sound
And
of
the
that.
essence that I'm going with is out of darkness, and it's neon love. Neon love has come out of my
Living
darkness.
life in neon.
Absolutely.
Oh my
This
God,
chick
I'm all
has
over
brought the
that.
neon colours to life in my life.
She and it is that. It is such a vibration of how you're feeling, how you express yourself. I mean, I was
Yeah.
talking to this about someone about clothing the other day. It was like, I'm just, as I'm feeling better, I just get wackier and wackier and wackier
Yeah,
and wackier.
wicked.
And I just love it because
And more free. It's freedom.
It's total
That's
freedom.
Whack on,
It's
sister.
whack on, sister. But it's like tattoos as well, isn't it? It's like someone the other day was like, why have all you girls got tattoos? And I was like,
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
really?
Would I not
Okay.
colour this
Well,
in?
Why?
Do you not
Yeah.
colour in a beautiful colouring in book? I mean, do you not put colour on your clothing, your walls of your house? I mean, your dishes?
You've got your own body.
They're all jazzy.
Yeah.
We're just jazzing it up.
Mine is the story of my life. All my
Exactly.
tattoos carry meaning.
Absolutely.
So do mine.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. This one, Nette did this one, and this is the only one that actually I wear with my dad's ring, but
Aw.
my mum and dad's ring. But yeah, that's the first one I did for myself, which was quite a
Yeah.
big deal. But even that is significant because it
Yeah.
was a moment. So when's your next workshop coming up? Because obviously you guys do. How often do you do your workshops? Would you say?
Well, we kind of have a pattern. The strong female lead used to be, referred to as an event or event based. It's now referred to as a movement in the media.
Cool. Good. We like that.
And it is a movement. And I
Absolutely.
think it's very different to a typical networking event where you have a very strict purpose.
You swap business cards.
Yeah. And we
swap souls.
Yeah.
we swap souls
Wait, is
and
that
we
the
grow.
right terminology? We swap souls?
We grow, we
don't know what
swap.
happens.
I don't
we
think that quite
share.
works.
I mean, all I know is like I camouflaged into your whole strong female lead canvas without meaning to. It was like, okay.
But that's the whole point.
Yeah.
So it's there to draw in what you need from it.
Yeah.
And that's how we grow. So, the idea of touching upon what's precious to people to grow and enlightening them is the point. Life and work and children and families and relationships and spirituality and health, but from that you take where you camouflage into the movement. And also we are really interested in local businesses and businesswomen and men who feel that they can bring something to the movement. We give people the opportunity to talk, do workshops, even people who have locally built businesses and they have something they like to advertise or put forward or sell or donate to the
you do great
Pass
goodie
the
bags.
Power.
This is the game that Dani has created.
Pass the Power.
Pass the Power. It's
this game's become phenomenal, and we've got a waiting list of donors for this game because
Can we have a Pass the Power tent at the soapbox race?
yes,
Oh my God,
We
that's so
can.
cool. That's wicked.
I'd love that.
and can I just give big thanks to so along the way we've had obviously Brown Sugar Crystals, we've had the Warren in Tunbridge Wells has massively been supportive.
So just so generous.
We've had Melody's Aesthetics, we've had
Sandra's Aesthetics.
yeah, we've had
Zach the healer.
Yeah.
I'm speaking.
People
Zach the
donate
healer.
some amazing gifts and prizes, and we are also there to support Elaine's charity.
I gave a podcast. I gave a podcast, didn't I? Yeah.
You
Yeah,
did.
thank you.
To Zach the healer.
I mean, we've
And you gave a wonderful talk.
absolutely.
And I did give a
Absolutely.
wonderful
Can I just say Nicole's talk was
Nicole now I'm in
absolutely Coco.
trouble. It's fine. It's just
Nicole's
funny.
talk was absolutely raw and
No other way with me, I'm afraid.
I mean, you touched upon some
it was
amazing strategies.
nice, yeah,
Thank
and growing businesses and so on. And I loved it so much. And I think that you having some form of training academy is perfectly a great way to go.
absolutely.
I mean, I put you on the spot.
Who could come up with something like that? And who said, I'm in.
Yes.
I'm in. So,
Need a backdrop?
oh, wait.
I got you.
I think there will be more collabs between us all.
Don't you love it when someone holds you accountable for your own growth?
Yes.
Like, isn't that so amazing?
Yes.
Those are the friends that we want and
Yes,
need.
they are totally, and that and it is. It's it all happens at the right time. It's amazing,
Yeah.
and there's what else? We've got some time. What else do you guys want to talk about while you're on?
I just wanted to mention Elaine's charity. Do
Yeah.
you want to say a bit about the?
Champion Chansey.
Yes.
So Champion Chansey provide menstrual care to children in a village in Tanzania,
which is amazing because Pascal's back
Absolutely.
working with me he's just come from Tanzania.
Exactly. Well, they don't just provide for the children, for the young girls who can't go to school while they're on their period. They also provide for the teachers who can't teach a whole class while they're on their period if they don't have sanitary care. So they provide sustainable, reusable sanitary towels to all the children and all the teachers, the women in this village. It's fantastic, but they need a constant stream of money to support this, to support the production and the delivery and the education. They also go over there and educate about how to
Elaine's
use and
there
safety.
right now.
They save children from female FGM. They educate them on being a woman, the beauty of being a woman. They help them release shame and guide them through that in a loving, progressive situation, but also supporting the schooling system and the access to knowledge and education.
That's
so
amazing.
it's fantastic.
So how can people find out more about that?
I'll post them out on the SFL social media.
Yeah.
I'll do a couple posts on them. So by the time this goes out, they'll be all over the social media, and we'll link them. I'll put the link to the.
Sorry, no. The coverage from the last Strong Female Lead event will come out this coming week.
So we've been raising money for them throughout the last few Strong Female Lead events, and we have a nice little kitty put together for them, which we're increasing. So I'll also link. I'll get the. Is there an active GoFundMe? Because we're currently raising the money.
There is. We can put the link out.
Okay, so we'll get the link out as well.
Ash can put all the links out.
Yeah, fantastic. That'll be wonderful.
That's why I'm asking. But if people, but the best way to find you really is on Insta, isn't it? It's Miss Brown Sugar
absolutely.
and Dani. I mean, they can always find you through Trippy Panther because your name is just so.
We've got the Strong Female Lead Instagram.
Yeah, please, Strong Female Lead, because your name is
Strong
like.
Female
I mean,
Lead.
obviously you're top of my Insta list.
It's yellow with a J.
Yeah, it's just like
odd.
what?
Layla. I get Layla.
Layla,
sometimes.
it's easier.
Yeah.
We'll link all of it. But if you can just donate like the cup of the price of a coffee,
Exactly.
it goes towards something
Anything.
so beautiful. That every woman is entitled to be able to
It shouldn't disrupt our
sanitary care.
lives.
Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. A sanitary towel. For God's sake. There's people in the world that haven't even got a sanitary towel.
I know.
It's awful. It's a tragedy. Yeah.
And there's people whinging about having
absolutely.
all sorts
But we can
things.
help that, you know.
Yeah.
Social
Brilliant.
media, go to our Instagram.
Brilliant.
Just drop a couple pounds and you'll know what you're giving to somebody.
That's
it's
really
a
nice.
gift. It's also the gift of education, you know.
Totally.
It cascades. You're helping them access life. It's beautiful.
And I think one more thing worth mentioning is a project that we're working on with Kent Police.
Yeah.
And I'm, believe it or not, the chief advisory of
Give it to them. Really
of the Kent Police Board.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, baby.
It's hilarious.
I want to see you in a policeman's hat.
I don't get to wear the uniform, darling. I mean, that might be quite appeasing to some, but I do not. So basically, I've put together and worked quite closely with Kent Police to put together an amazing advisory board, which sits Nette on it, and Holly from Zero, and Matt and Joe, and a lot of our collective, plus some other amazing humans like Laura Horn, who works for the police.
Community liaison officer.
Yeah, and we have been working on a set of courses and workshops for schools to teach children about staying safe online on things like Snapchat and Instagram, but also to bring in more areas around mental health and preventative methods to keep our children kind of tuned into soulfulness.
Amazing.
And engage them and educate them on what's going on in the world, where the curriculum doesn't always have the space and time to fit a lot of this into it. So we are trying to build a series of courses. Nette is massively supporting by writing content and producing content for some of those courses as well. And that by getting to children or to the youth, we can help and support at a stage of where it can become where it is prevention before crime and mental health issues become quite a much bigger thing in society, and then we can control it less. It's not necessarily about the control, it's about the prevention of crime and children's health being as good as it possibly can be when they get to teenagehood and then on to adulthood. I mean, providing a safe space for children, and so we're working on all of that as well at the moment.
And it's because it's really affecting. We're really seeing the effects now, not just on we're seeing it on humanity, but we are seeing it on adults and children. I mean,
suicide and domestic abuse is just skyrocketing.
Honestly,
It's
Tunbridge
crazy.
Wells and Sevenoaks, Kent have a very, very large amount of domestic violence and abuse.
And I was in a room full of people that don't want to drink last night, and there was a lot of us in there, and they are not people. Stigma might be like, it's got to the end of the road. It's like people are really. They've been through desperate situations and they don't know how to cope. And I think if you can work collectively like you are, and I take my hats off to you because, as you know, I wanted to do something with Matt and Anna, which was the I'm Life project 2 years ago. And I had to step away from it because it's just too much going on. So I take my hats off to you. Academy, I'm in. Anything you need from me, I'm in. Anywhere promoting you, I'm in. I'm always in. But I also have learnt to know my limits. Otherwise I reach burnout.
Which is important too,
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I love you girls.
Oh,
I love you women. You're beautiful. I can't believe you're literally wearing leopard. I definitely need to get some shots with you two.
I mean, look at these. Look,
Nette's worn this before. She's just looking very sort of kind of
Laura.
My harness.
It's very it's kind of a bit
collection.
S&M, but
a
cute.
little bit.
I like it.
Yeah.
I know it's just the way she's got the cute little cap on with the
Belle Empire. She's amazing, isn't she?
She's beautiful, and I don't even want to. I'm not even going to get into any clothes with you because you've got me in a whole world of trouble with your shoes, and let's not talk about that on this.
I was photographing shoes for Coco this weekend.
Yes, thank you. Let's not talk about that anymore. And I was
all you were wearing,
and you
Dani?
might get them revealed
Didn't
on this
show
show
me.
at some point, and I will say, this is thanks to my friend Dani. Weapon shoes.
Not
Let's
shoes,
say,
they're weapons.
Okay. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh,
thank you
Everyone
for
check
having
these
us.
guys out. They're absolutely amazing.
We love you,
Thank
Coco.
you.
I love you both very, very much.
Lots and lots of jelly tots.
I know, lots and lots of jelly tots. Exactly. All right. And this has been so much fun talking to you both. You're too cute.
Thank you, darling.
Okay. Chat soon.
you.
Bye-bye. Bye. Ciao, ciao.